Hello to my girlies, my gays, and my in-betweens. My name is Joey, known on Instagram as Is Misha Joey. I'm an Irish makeup artist from Dublin, and I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this Pride Glam. I was very inspired by the cool tones and the warm tones of the rainbow flag, and I basically just use those for like contrast with one another. So I'm going in with my pink honey. This is my brow wax. It basically just really firms the eyebrow hairs to the forehead, giving a very laminated look and appearance, and it is literally so gorgeous to do. It's my favorite technique ever to use. And this is me just flattening it down, really making sure that it's stuck down to my model's head. This creates for me so much more eyelid space. So if you are a boy that is into makeup, this is literally going to create so much eyelid space for you. Like, it's insane. And if you're a drag queen or a drag king, perfect first layer for just really flattening the base of your brows to really give you that smooth finish as well. It's literally the most perfect thing ever, and it's a staple. Like, it's a staple in every single makeup look that I do. And then again, just really making sure that that's really super flattened down onto my model's eyes. This for me as well just really helps create the look overall. I prefer the kind of image that it gives. It's very for me. Then I'm just going in with my NARS Soft Matte Concealer. I'm using it in shade Custard. The contrast in her skin tone to this is like insane. It's literally insane, but it all works out in the end, which is absolutely perfect. And I'm using this just to carve out the brows and just really give me that nice highlighted underbrow appearance. This also really brings this forward in the face. If you can see on both sides, it really just kind of blanks completely under that eyebrow space. And I will be going in doing this on both sides as well, and just, you know, really making sure that it's all super snatched, super gorge and opaque. This will just literally grasp onto your eyeshadow pigments as well, which is insane. And then just on the actual lid itself, I'm going in with the P. Louise base. It's the only base I will ever use, like literally ever use, as it's just insanely good at gripping onto the pigment from any eyeshadow. It will just really drag any bit of pigment out, literally from any eyeshadow palette. And I'm just using that in pattern motions. I never really swipe that base on. It's always just more a nice little pattern technique that I do. And it literally smooths the lid space so much. Like, you'll see on the model in a moment, her eyelids, like, this space just looks flat, like so flat. And that was just a clean makeup brush then that I used as well. I like a fluffy brush more so, just to really pat that in, and it will not absorb any product, but instead just really disperse it and flatten it and just make it so much more better and more even for the eyeshadow base to be able to then it just helps. I don't know, it's a little bit of magic. So now basically what I'm going in with is my deepest shade. I always start off with this technique of a deeper shade. I'm going in with my Carter Beauty. This is just a gel liner, and I'm going to start etching out the shape that I'm going to want to go for. It's so insane going in with like the deepest pigment ever, but it's so much worth it, as it really helps you get that like intense blend. But starting off with the deeper color, it means you really get that intense blend with the shape as well. So yeah, anything I'm doing on one eye, I will be repeating it on the other eye as well. And then I'm just really going in and, you know, building it up, making it nice, making it have its coverage as I should. And then just taking it on the other eye as well. Me and the model, my model's name is Jade, and I swear we were talking like literally so much through all of this, literally just talking about anything and everything. And then yeah, so we're going for the cut crease look, so that's why I'm only bringing it in not all the way, because I'm going to rely on a lot of other shadows to really give me that deeper effect on the inside. I don't like to bring the black gel liner in too much. I just think that this is a way that you can really mess up the look. And again, just really being super careful with the placement and where I do place that. So I am now just taking a small but fluffy brush, and I'll use this to just start to blend out the edges of the black gel liner. This makes it really easier to blend shadows on top of this. And again, we put down that base, but having that gel liner there as well, it just really helps to have something for the eyeshadows to grip onto. This will make it more long lasting, and I like to think personally, this just really helps to intensify my shadows. It just does something different for me. It really does. So you can see the way one is a bit more blended out, but it's not quite touching under that brow. And that's one thing as well. I am not afraid to take a shadow into the brow. Like, that's just more space to use, honestly. So again, just going in really super small detailed blending motions. We don't want to drag the black gel liner out too far, so we are trying to keep the blend as close as possible to the actual liner work that we would have created there. But we are trying to give it just, I like to call it the halo effect. So it's like a little glow around it. And then I am just going in with my brown eyeshadow. This is a really cool toned brown. I wanted to go kind of like a brownie, almost like a grey, kind of really super cool tone, grungy smoke on the inner corner for both eyes. And you can see how it just blends. Like, the blend is just so insane. So you're taking that then on a kind of more flat but fluffy brush yet, and then just going in just kind of half on and half off what you were doing with the gel liner. And that's kind of how I place all of my shadows. It's always going to be half on and half off from the previous shadow. So that's just really taking that cool tone brown and smoking out the black gel liner. And just in small motions. I don't ever like to overblend any specific areas. And just all of your shadows should look as if they seamlessly just blend and fall into one another. Then I'm just going in with a brighter shade of a brownie smoky color, and this one was literally, it was so close to her skin tone as well, like you can barely see it. And just then I blend between each of the shades. So I'll go for a more cool tone brown and blend it out with a lighter cool tone brown. And with that then, I'm just going to bounce between each of the shades, building up my pigmentation, building up my smoke, and just really making sure that none of the shadows outshine the other one, because they all need to work together. All the shadows are in line for a reason, going from my darkest to my lightest, and they all need to work literally hand in hand. Like, they need to work together or it's just not going to work. And we don't want any harsh lines. One of my little biggest inspirations ever when it comes to makeup is drag queens. Like, I am obsessed with the local drag queens. The time, the effort, the artistry, they're just so top notch. I am so inspired by drag queens literally on a daily, and just queer artistry in general. I really feel as if like we take it there. Like, we are not afraid to go for it. Like, we need some sort of like title for anything that we ever go for. And I live for it. Like, I literally live for it so much. And then again, just as on one eye, so on the other. The shades are from a palette that's discontinued, but I know if you want to support Irish, Cash Beauty do amazing alternatives, and they have their very cool tone smoky glams. So yeah, you can grab very similar shades on Cash Beauty, which is an Irish brand, so you ain't gonna hit with no Brexit custom charges. We don't need that. We don't need that right now. Not in the middle of a global panini, as to say. Then I'm just going in and really starting to build up my cool tone outer corner. I'm taking a deep blue shade, again starting with one of my darker shades of eyeshadow. A great deep blue shade is from the Carnival XL palette by Be Perfect. It is literally the most pigmented, the most insane. It's just so gorgeous. Like, it's literally so gorgeous. And as you can see, the outer corner, it's kind of looking very edgy. It's very how's the word to say it? Like, it's just not looking blended. It's not giving there's no life given there. Whereas the inner corner, we're really after building up that smoke, that edge to the inner corner. And then we are just placing that blue shade, it again 50% on your black gel liner and 50% on your base. And I find that that is literally the best way, like hands down best way to get your blend absolutely seamless. Then going in with my lightest shade that I'll be using on my outer corner, I am taking my lightest blue, which is again from the Carnival XL palette by Be Perfect and Stacey Marie. And this is what really just helps give me that like chef's kiss blend. Like, it is so beautiful. And with this one, I use more of like, how do I even describe it? It's like windshield wiper motions to just really help me blend out that deeper blue. It's kind of the best way I have found. Again though, only kind of applying half on, half off, because we want the lightest blue to be able to shine, but we also need to keep it with the deepest and darkest blue as well. And later on in the footage, you'll definitely see me going in. There's me swapping my eyeshadow brushes around. I go in and just re-intensify each and every shade, each and every pigment, because they all deserve their own spotlight. They all deserve to be seen and recognized within the eye look. And for me, this just really helps build dimension and adds so much detail into the eyeshadow look as well. It's just the easiest way that I find of blending, and it just really, it takes it from me. It really does. It helps me build up so much of the intensity. So then I'm going back in and just recreating that shape that we originally made with the black gel liner. However, this time I'm reshaping and retaking it in with a black shadow. I use black eyeshadow more so for the toning of any other shadows that I have there, and I build it up very lightly. I do not go in and pack it like mad. It always needs to be just something that I take kind of bit by bit, build it up. And I never wanted to be like a black or a jet black. I always just wanted to deepen up the color. So for this, I want to go for like the more deeper blue and get it to the deepest that I possibly can. And for me, I just think this helps so much with really blending your shadows and making it also seamless. And if you think you went a bit too deep, I just went back in there with my deepest blue shade, and this really helped blend it out then. So that's my little tip and trick to giving and adding dimension to literally any makeup look that you do, is to add your deepest color. You can change a black for a deep purple if you want to go for like a sunset color eye. You can literally just play around with it, and it's so gorgeous, and it's so easy. It's literally so easy. Like, this tutorial, it's like a video tutorial that is makeup for dummies. Like, literally it is. It's the easiest, promise. The one thing to really make your eyeshadows look absolutely on fleek, I found, is always just really going in and re-intensifying literally each and every shade. Like each and every shade needs to be re-intensified, needs to be re-brought out. Like it's just what I need to do for every makeup look, like literally every. So basically what I was doing with that brush was any of the leftover base that I had on it, it was just to kind of clean up the under area. And I like to bring mine in a more straight out motion, but a lot of drag queens really love to bring their eyes up. This really helps to lift the face. So that shape is completely down to what way you want to do it. It's just a way of making sure that you are changing your eye shape in accordance to your face shape as well. So then starting on my warm side of outer corner, I'm going with a lovely pigmented orange shade, again from the Be Perfect and Stacey Marie Carnival XL palette. And for this, what I was able to do was really build and bring out that black smoke. This ended up getting changed just so slightly to a very warm reddish tone brown. And basically what I did with that was, it was just to help blend the black and the orange into each other, because I was noting there was just a bit too much of a contrast going on. It was not cute. We needed to definitely get her so much cuter, but we get there in the end. So I took an orange shade, really blended that out, and then went in with my middle tone, which was just a warm and like brown, warm, ready kind of shade to really help blend everything in together. So a lot of my eyeshadow work is definitely very tedious. I go in with each shade a good few number of times. For me, it just really helps bring the pigment, and like you literally need the softest touch, especially if you have such a pigmented palette. You need the softest touch on your eyeshadow brushes to really help give you that seamless blend. Otherwise, if you're kind of stamping each product on a bit too much, you're going to build up too much of the capacity and opacity. And yeah, so if you go in with all of the shades with like too much of a harsh pressure, you're definitely going to create a lot of harsh lines. Whereas the lighter your pressure, the lighter your blend, and it'll be so much more seamless. And I look at everything as a ladder. What goes up must come down. So going up would be starting from your deepest tone, your middle tone, and your lightest tone. And bringing it back down is reinforcing and reinstating that lightest tone and the middle tone and the deeper tone. And the dimension that this really will just bring to each, any, and every eyeshadow look that you ever do. It's just like, it's chef kiss, she's a tree. Honestly, she is the tree. And then my big fat ass in the way. Like, hello. So again, as I said, just really going in, reinforcing, reinstating absolutely every eyeshadow that is applied. And then just because it was kind of two tones on each eye, I worked in sections. So 1/2 versus 1/2, which is why you don't really see too much of topping up of the inner corner. Kind of only topped up if I felt it was needed. So as you can see, literally just reinstating each and every shadow that comes through. I cannot stress the importance of this so much. Like, it really just helps with the blend. Like, trust me, try it. Just try it one time, and then you can come on over to my Instagram at ismishajoey, and you can just tell me that you are so happy that I introduced you to the ladder steps when it comes to your eyeshadow blending. Because literally all you need is 3 shadows And like, it just works each and every time. Like the blend is, it's the chef's kiss. And then that was me just again cleaning up the under part with any excess base that is left on the base brush that we use to just really pat and smooth it all in to our skin. And once again, just following in the path of my drag queen inspos, I'm really going in and cleaning up any of the lid space that I will be removing with some of my cut crease paint. Yes, a paint you will see in a bit, but I use this basically to remove any layers of makeup that will be under it, as the paints that I use for cutting the crease, they just work 10 times better on the actual skin rather than sitting on top of a whole lot of makeup as well. And with this, it's just very about being precise. I try a whole load of different things just with wiping. I try it on the end of an eyeshadow brush if you're doing it on yourself. Like, it will literally be the most easiest way to build up a cut crease. It is inspired by like literally so many drag queens. They all do this, they all cut their crease. And yeah, so a little bit of a baby wipe to remove any of that heavy excess makeup that we may have. As like, things just need to be worked in such small layers, and then you can just build them all up, you know? Like, it builds up over time. If you're going with something too heavy, it's gonna look super cakey and just will not be pretty. Okay, let's get into the cut crease. This to me is like, it is makeup porn. I swear to God, it's so gorgeous. It's so satisfying even just sitting here watching as I cut the crease. I chose to do a talk-over style video for this because it really means that I can sit back and just kind of look at my techniques, and I feel as if I could more in-depth explain them while watching myself do it. So basically how I will cut my crease is I have a paintbrush. Yes, this is literally a paintbrush, but it goes so flat, like it literally is, she's the skinniest legend. And I will stamp the very top, as you can see, like I stamp the shape on and just pull down a little bit. I don't go in and completely blank out the entire eyelid space just yet. I really want to map out and get my curves going for my cut crease and see what shape I want, what shape is suiting the eye shape and everything like that. This is one of the most game-changing techniques that I've ever used for cutting the crease. It just really helps to get that really sharp, crisp cut crease line that you always see on Instagram. And it's like, how do I do that? Well, this is how you do it. If you stamp on and just drag down a little bit, it's going to give you that crisp line. It's going to really help intensify the contrast between your cutting of the crease. Then what I go in with is my warmer tones, but on the cooler side. So this is where I really wanted to bring the contrast in. I thought it'd be such a cool effect, especially for Pride makeup. I'm going to take a yellow, very pigmented yellow. Like, can you get a whole load of that? Like, intensely pigmented. And I'm going to take that on the inner corner. And basically what that's going to be is the starting of my really warm tone lid, and I'm then going to grab an orange shade, and then later I will apply a red shade on the outer corner as well, and just blend it all in together with, again, just picking up that black shade that you would have used previously. And if you just like, you don't even need any more product on that brush. When it comes to a black, it should be intense. Like, it should be insanely intense. And that will just really help to bring your blend in together and just really perfect that. Then again, I'm just gonna end up going in and really just cleaning up the model's under eye. I do this more so because you will get a lot of transfer, and like all of that pigmentation will show up under any of your foundation or any of your base routine. Any of that fallout, you really need to remove it all, otherwise it'll just show up. With the cool tones, it can kind of make somebody look like they have really dark under eyes, which is not the cutest look. And then to just give it that little pride glitz, that pride glam, I'm going in with the Beauty Bay Pride Glitter Toppers for eyeshadow. These are insanely gorgeous. They came out in so many different shades for them, which is unreal. I use the orange and I use the yellow on my warmer side, and it just really gives it that little sparkle. Like it gives that, like, just super sheen, reflective. It's so gorgeous. It's literally so beautiful, and it just kind of brings the makeup look so much more there. By literally at this stage of the makeup look, I start to get so delirious. I either like hate a makeup look at the one go, or like love it. A little peeking from me there too. We were just really like inspecting the eye shape and just seeing if it really worked at all angles. Again, you never really know what angle you are going to be photographed at, so before you leave the house, you check all of them angles. And then again, on my cooler tone lids, I'm going to go in with a very pigmented neon green. Again, you can find a shade like this inside of the Stacey Marie XB Perfect Carnival XL Pro palette. And I'll take green and then I'll go in with a nice, really super tropical blue and just start to blend all of these in together as well. And the best way for lids to be super blended, and as you can see on the warmer side, it just like seamlessly falls into one another. It's just to go in between that middle ground of the blue and the green and just really pat them in together. I noticed if you use the more pattern technique, it just really helps to make that effortless and seamless blend. It's so gorge. And then finally, on the outer corner of that lid, I'm going in with a nice intense purple shade to complete my cutting of the creasers with my Pride Rainbow Flag colours. It is literally so cute. I have to say, this is like one of my favourite makeup looks that I've ever done. It's just so cute. It's so gorgeous. I would literally wear it every day because we don't need pride for it to be rainbows on our faces all day, every day, okay? We are proud. We are pride. And then basically what you see me here doing is just going around any of the perimeter of that cut crease with just the slightest touch of the black shade again. And this just really helps to build up your contrast and really helps to build that dimension to make the lid appear as if it's sitting more forward than maybe what it actually is, because that doesn't hurt to make it look like it's absolutely bulging out. It really helps to make the cut crease look flatter. And again, just going in with my Beauty Bay, the glitter eyeshadow toppers, and taking a Be Perfect one there as well, just to really go over the green. Of course, it's so much handier if you have a correlating eyeshadow topper to the color that's under. But honestly, these are so cheap and you can pick them up literally anywhere. They're so nice to have. And then literally, bam, try and tell me that an eyelash does not make an entire makeup look. Like, how stunning. Don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at ismishajoey, and thank you, Limerick Pride.